Before Leslie helped me with my business, I was moving along, but I didn't feel like I had a real structure. I felt like I was making progress, but I was also spending a lot of time spinning my wheels to the point of kind of exhaustion until Leslie came along and helped me build a really simple but effective and help make sense of a structure for me to take my business to the next level. Got some great results from working directly with Leslie, not only on my productivity and also the direct influence I'm having on my customers and therefore on my product, and increasing those sales overall, but I've really gained a sense of confidence in being able to move forward. When I was working on my own and feeling like I was spinning my wheels, like I mentioned before, I was just kind of getting tired and exhausted. I've been doing this by myself since the beginning. And so having Leslie there to really help guide me along has given me a refreshed and renewed sense of purpose and focus, which has been immeasurable to the success of my company. Being able to break down my company and also my inventory allowed me to see things from better bird's eye view to where I could see things more clearly, where it was all just kind of a jumbled mess where everything was just engaging with each other and sometimes distracting or detracting from the other. Now they were able to be separated so they could shine a light on their own strengths, but also bring up some of the weaknesses in some of the products that maybe weren't flourishing like they could, so that I could put better resources towards that or kind of completely move on from that because it wasn't worth my time and energy to continue pursuing those things that weren't serving me. So being able to get organized and things broken down in a way that just made more sense and was intuitive really just helped for me to create subsections in my mind, on my displays for my categories on the back end, and then also give me more free space to where I can think of things that are going to push my company forward and bring it to that next level. I would highly recommend working with Leslie. If you're even on the fence about it, just get started with her. She is going to ignite a fire under your butt and ignite that passion that sometimes tends to dwindle when you've been doing things, especially when you've been doing things on your own for a while. You know, you start with all of this enthusiasm, you see results coming in, and things are going well. And then maybe things are still going well, but you're kind of tired or you've hit all of the resources that you have in your tool belt. And Leslie will be able to come on in, get you excited about your career and the possibilities within what you're trying to build. And then will help simplify things into bite-sized steps so that you can just take one step at a time, because so much about being an entrepreneur is just taking that step and that step and then that step. And she is really wonderful at creating a space where you can be safe expressing what your dreams are, and she's going to help you get to where you want to go. I definitely had concerns going into it, but nothing having to do with Leslie and just completely having to do with my own ineptitude in running a business, because I consider myself an artist first who just stumbled into becoming a business owner. So I don't have all of the corporate jargon in my back pocket. I don't have the course laid out. That's also why I needed to bring in someone like Leslie so that she could help guide me through it. And she was able to put any of my insecurities or concerns just to the wayside, because she's incredibly warm. And like I mentioned before, very competent and is able to bring you to, again, just make that first step followed by that first step, followed by that first step, so that you can continue to get to where you want to go in making those dreams come true. So yes, of course, I think anybody who's been doing something on their own for a while might have some insecurities that, especially if they don't have formal training in this, that they're not doing things correctly, or they don't have the most, business-like structure. But that's why we bring in people into our world, so that they can help us with the tools that they've gathered throughout life. And I think Leslie brings a lot of those tools to the relationship. So in my time with working with Leslie, I found that the work has directly been able to help give me the words to complete tasks that I already knew I needed to do. I just didn't have uh, the words to put them into something that made sense for my brain to be able to complete action steps. I also didn't have the necessary tools as far as platforms like Notion. I had never worked in that world before, so Leslie was pivotal in helping me set that up and learning how to navigate it so that I can use it to my best advantage. So I felt like everything she was guiding me through made complete sense and was in alignment with my inner entrepreneur. I just, in my limited amount of uh, business acumen, I didn't have those tools at that time. And she was able to help bring those things to the forefront, and then also give me steps on how to complete those tasks so it would better enhance the front end of my business. So when I launched my first business, it was started completely by accident, an intentional accident, I guess I would say. I had just started posting things online for my art, and then people mentioned they'd be interested in buying it. And so I haphazardly started selling things from there, with very little intention and more of just a let's see what happens. But since I've relaunched my brand and changed it to be a much more intentional project for myself and my partner and our future together, and bringing people on like Leslie to help guide me through that intentional process, I've seen a huge upswing in traffic, and also in sales. And I think that's mostly because I am so much more organized and I'm so much more open to adding and changing and tweaking, and taking risks and bringing new things to the forefront of my shop that I might not have considered before, because I didn't have that brain space to allow my creativity to wander into new sectors that I could enjoy sharing with my customers. So through launching my business and working with Leslie, it's been instrumental in being able to not only give myself a little bit of a makeover, but also bring people into this new brand that I'm really excited about. Last comment that I would say is that Leslie is lovely. She's so wonderful. She's so sweet. If you're looking for someone who is going to treat you like she's your best friend and root for you like a best friend, then I would absolutely choose Leslie to be your cheerleader throughout this process. She's going to be the cheerleader that gets stuff done and encourages you to do that. And if you're like me and I don't do well with someone who's going to yell at me and give me that tough love, I need somebody who's going to be cheering me on throughout it, and through encouragement and enthusiasm is going to help me get to where I want to be. Then if you're like me at all, you will absolutely enjoy working with Leslie. She's full of spunk, she's full of passion, and she's just an absolute delight.